say I joined the Illuminati. I got demons all around me. Tell me what they know about me. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Go on, tell a friend, tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge. I just came back for the win. Lot of new money in my hand. Go on, tell a friend. They say success is the best revenge.
First off, let me talk my. Got a couple things I gotta cross off my list. How you insomniac for sleeping on my. It's a bad soundtrack. Read the script.
Playoff football has come to the west coast of Florida, and we are at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Straight ahead, it's Wild Card Weekend, and we've got a great one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wildcard game. And he returns this to the 22. A former Seminole back home in Florida. It's Dalvin Cook, and he'll be brought down here at the 28. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
Good running right there, and this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances, and he picks up nice yardage on that one.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Cousins. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Throwing is Cousins. Short little throw to Ebron. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the first down.
Open out on the left side. This is Cole. And they're going to get this up to midfield. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 36. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run the counter with Cook. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. Play action now. Cousins. He'll buy some time right. It's complete to Cole. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. They'll run with Cook, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Tackling's obviously critical down near the goal line. That was great work there to make the hit behind the line and make sure he doesn't get any further. Did a really nice job wrapping up and not letting him loose.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a pickup of 3, but still a little work to do on 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
3rd and goal for Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Eric Ebron, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings will strike first here, this wild card matchup. And Johnson's extra point up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Brady going to bring the Bucs up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Fakes the give to Fournette. Now Brady. That's going to be caught downfield by Miller. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's good for 28 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. On play action, it's Brady. Flushed out right. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They give him a gain of 38. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. They'll give Fournette another crack. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
A quick throw by Brady, complete. And in for the Buccaneers, touchdown. Odell Beckham, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Buccaneers respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Taken in at the 3. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. On 1st and 10, Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. A good pickup there of 22. First down, here's the run with Cook. And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. Here's Cook again. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And the Bucs are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Brady going to throw. And he's able to find Miller. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one good for 26 and a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 41. Up the gut, Fournette. They find some open field here. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down. Inside handoff now to Fournette. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Leonard Fournette taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Buccaneers have taken the lead. So another rushing touchdown for him this year. Boy, he's found the end zone quite a bit so far. Charles, that now an even 20 scores on the season.
And you know how often we use the term, probably I overuse the term, imposing their will? Well, these defenses have become really powerless to stop him. That's what we've seen from him and his team this year. You know he's getting the ball down here in the red zone, but he's just got that strength of will himself, and he's used it to great effect.
Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
Fournette, a first down carry. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Rip left, rip left. And 58 is a Mike. Hey, go 66.
On 2nd and 9, Brady. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. Throwing on first down is Brady. Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans, 25 yards for the touchdown. And they are able to add on to their advantage. This time, the extra point up and good. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Suckup now set to kick it off following the made field goal. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. First down, Vikings. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he's got some space here. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
68 yards rushing for him in this first half, as he has certainly carried over his regular season success into the playoffs.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Cousins gives way to Cook. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Vikings get a late score here in the final minute of the first half.
And Johnson's extra point up and good.
And this is back to a 5-point game. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And Brady's throw there incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. The final shot before half for Brady. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they're in the position they expected to be in. They've got the lead, home crowd behind them, and they're looking toward making that next step in these playoffs.
And I think a key for them is to put together some good, long, extended drives. Work to run it a little more with that big offensive line. I'm not saying get away from throwing the football. That's still working. But if they run it more effectively, they may get even bigger plays in the passing game.
On second down, here's Fournette. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
He completes it to Beckham. The 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Odell Beckham. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Buccaneers come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Extra point up and good by Succop. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Second down, they go right back to Cook. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Cousins to throw it. And Cook has it, left side. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Cousins now to throw on first down. And he's going to be intercepted for the third time thus far. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And the Buccaneers are going to take over at their own 41.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A well-executed 22-yard gain. A handoff to Fournette. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. Second down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Brady's throw complete there to Evans. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A shotgun give to Fournette. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Leonard Fournette, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bucs continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point put through by Succop. And that will make this a 19-point game. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They run again on first down. Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it again with Fournette. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. The 4th touchdown pass of the game for Tom Brady. And the Bucs get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Extra point up and good by Succop. And that will bump the lead up to 26. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot... Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. Finding room at midfield. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, 75 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd. Cousins will try and throw. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And the Buccaneers able to recover. Their hands team does its job. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Fournette running out of the gun. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. Now a play fake. Brady. This is caught by Evans. A good pickup there, 26 yards. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On the draw, this is Fournette. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Again, it's Fournette. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Leonard Fournette saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Well, look, this is a team, Charles, they faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
Extra point put through by Succop, and they open the lead up now to 25. Now it's Ryan Succop on after the touchdown to kick it away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Jamel Dean, and the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football.
Here's a give to Fournette, and very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. But that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Levante David.
And the Bucs are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You got to go compete for the ball so you don't get another one picked off.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
117 yards rushing for him now as he has been a central figure in trying to get his guys to the second round. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They're going with Beckham on the end around. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. Second down. They'll try and run some clock with Fournette. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with third and about 6 yards to go.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Fournette on the counter. And he'll get this forward only for about a yard, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. Fournette on the toss to the right. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. They fake the handoff. Now Brady. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, Charles, I know you appreciate seeing this great defense, especially with the heightened intensity of the postseason. These two defenses, they have risen to the occasion to force back-to-back interceptions.
You know me well, Brandon. I always stand with my fellow defenders. And I love watching them make plays, and you nailed it. It's playoff time. This is when it matters most.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. And now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the officials and the folks in New York got a second look at this one, and the call is going to be overturned. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. To throw, Cousins. Incomplete, right side to Cook. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he is going to lose yardage here. Off the play fake, Cousins. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it off. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And it's a pick six. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping they're holding a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. And he will not make it to the goal line as this try for two is going to come up empty. But that's little consolation to this defense as they have been porous all game long.
Now it's Ryan Suckup on after the touchdown to kick it away. Well, he thought about coming out, but instead he does go down to a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. One last shot now for Cousins.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
Past the 20.
This is what we made of right here.
They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game. Check. Got that done. Win a wild card game. Big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bucs are winners here as we say so long from Tampa.
phone.